step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Yeah, just got to make sure the hair's in check just before we start. A very good morning. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Expresso on SABC. What's happening, bro? You good?
See, rub those hands, bro. Yo, it's cold
I'm nice
today.
and warm, bro. I've been chilling on the inside, enjoying a big mug of
a mountain of coffee. A mountain of coffee this morning. So good to have you join us. It's the middle of the week. We're going to break that midweek monotony today. What a show.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we're going to have ourselves a little bit of fun. Of course, the BET Awards got underway, and we saw some brilliant performances there. So we're going to hone in on a very laughable situation. But Nikki Bush is here to. We're going to broach a subject now. We know it's taken schools by storm completely. We want to find out, is there any educational value whatsoever in the fidget spinner?
Impossible. I say it's just a time waster, but we'll find out more about that. But yes, you were talking about the BET Awards. Bruno Mars was actually caught napping at the BET Awards. I thought it was an action-packed thing, but yeah, this photo has gone viral. And then also on the performance side, the music side on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, ShugaSmakx is in the house. The man is going to be sharing some music with us. I can't wait.
I hope we can reminisce about Squatter Camp just a little bit, man. Absolutely love it. Then, of course, it's the end of the month. For some, a time to celebrate. For others, a time to cry. But we're going to bring a bit of a laugh to some of those more money problems this morning.
Well, let's stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, starting off to take a look at the temperatures all around the cities in the country.
Thank you so much, lads, and a very good morning from my side as well. Let's kick it off with your weather, and it seems like most parts of the country can expect very cool temperatures with showers along the coast from the KZN region down to the Western Cape. However, Richards Bay and Pietermaritzburg are expecting nice and warm temperatures today. Jou temperatuur op Polokwane begin op 6 grade minimum en 'n maksimum van 22, Mbombela 11 en warm 29, Pretoria 5 grade, lekker koel maar 'n warmer 20 later, Johannesburg 5-18, Mahikeng begin op 'n koel 4 grade en styg na 22, Klerksdorp koud vanoggend 1 graad minimum en 21 maksimum, Kimberley 2-17, Bloemfontein baie koud vanoggend -3 en dit bly koel met 'n maksimum van 18, Richards Bay 17-30, Pietermaritzburg begin op 10 grade minimum en 'n maksimum van 27, Durban 17-24, Mthatha begin op 4, dit styg na 23 grade, East London starting off on 9 degrees minimum and a maximum of 22 degrees, Cradock on 2 degrees minimum and a maximum of 19, Port Elizabeth 7-18, George 5 and a maximum of 14, Sutherland on 0 degrees, nice and cold and staying cold with a maximum of 7, Cape Town 6-15 with a chance of showers throughout the course of this Wednesday, Worcester 1 degree this morning and a maximum of 13, and Springbok on 6 with a maximum of 13 as well, Uppington starting off on 2 degrees reaching a maximum of 17 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather for the 6:30 bulletin. I'll be back in half an hour's time just after 7 with another look at those temperatures. Right now though, let's quickly get into what's happening out on the roads this morning. We're starting off in Cape Town, Bellville. On the N1 inbound, there has been an accident at Okavango Road and you can expect delays in both directions. And then in Khayelitsha, there has also been an accident on the N2 highway inbound, and that's after the Spine Road exit. You can expect delays approaching the scene. And that's also, please bear in mind that roads are wet this morning, so switch on those headlights, increase your following distance, and be extra vigilant this morning on the roads. Reach your destinations safely. That's what we have for you in terms of traffic. We'll keep you updated throughout the course of this Wednesday. I'm back just after 7 with another traffic report.
Oh, no. No gum. No gum, please. Take the gum out.
Yeah, in case you didn't know it, Ewan likes his chocolate nice and dark. No, I'm actually kidding. This caption here is all about today, which is Hump Day. It's Wednesday, so we're asking you, are you rewarding yourself with a foodie treat since you are halfway through the week? I didn't even know that was a thing. But Sandy Swaz says, morning family, I'll be having a cake sale at work, so I'm having lots of chocolate cake. Oh, I hope you sell maning cakes. Henko says, good morning fam. Yep, totally. Today's spicy wings and cool icy drink. would not do any harm. 100. Olebogeng are making a plan at lunchtime. Okay, I hope that plan works out well for you. Chrissy's saying here, good morning, guys. I'm in the bus craving chicken curry and roti. Lol, making a plan later for lunchtime. Well, I hope that you are rewarding yourself with a special treat on this hump day. Please keep on linking up with us on our social media platforms. That's on Twitter and on Facebook using hashtag Expresso Show.
Well, proudly, it is almost Mandela Day, and if you're looking for a way to turn positive thought into action and help South Africa, then be a part of the 27 Suitcases campaign with TravelStart. From now up until the 18th of July, TravelStart is going to be collecting clothes, toiletries, non-perishable food, and of course children's toys for those in need. Then these items will fill 27 suitcases and be sent to 27 charities across the country. For all of the drop-off details, please visit the TravelStart blog, and then you can enjoy a cup of coffee as well as an added bonus if you drop off at the TravelStart head office here in the Mother City. So make a difference in someone's life with Africa's leading online travel agency, TravelStart.
All right, thank you so much, Graham. Well, let's quickly take a look at what you can expect on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And a rather interesting topic this morning. We're sitting down with our parenting expert, Nikki Bush, and it's all about those fidget spinners. What's the deal? We'll hear from the expert. And then some great music heading your way in terms of ShugaSmakx. You do not want to miss that performance. He's going to raise the roof this morning. It's going to be a Feel Good Wednesday. We'll be back after the break.
Glad ice cube bags are just so fabulous and so versatile. Wait till you see how they work. It's magic. Plus, they're convenient and easy to use, and they save space in the freezer. Simply fill the funnel at the top with water until all the squares are filled. And now for the magic part. The bag seals itself when you turn it upside down, and you don't have to worry about any spills in the freezer. Each bag makes 24 ice cubes, all individually wrapped with the perforations in between each one. And they're tightly sealed, leaving them free from odors from the rest of the freezer. Another wonderful idea to try with these bags is to flavor them with lemon juice or your favorite flavor juice. Great for flavoring iced tea or water. They're great for summer drinks too. Glad really does know how to make life so much easier.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh my goodness, welcome to it. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show right here on SABC3. Are you alright, brother?
I'm okay.
You see, sometimes a cup of bad coffee is probably not the best thing.
Don't even start me
Just
on that.
finish coughing, awesome. Right, let's get into your local entertainment news quickly.
Let's, shall we? Listen, one of our Springbok Sevens players has more than just the team's recent victories to celebrate. None other than Stefan Dippenaar has now tied the knot, so congratulations to him. He tied the knot with his long-term girlfriend Louise, and they said their I-dos this week in a romantic ceremony in Riebeek West, and the couple shared beautiful photos of their nuptials, which included handsome Stefan and his best man, and the bride and her bridesmaids, and of course the newlyweds are looking every bit beautiful. Look at those. Look at those
beautiful
pictures.
couple, man.
It's beautifully posed. Now the pair are on honeymoon in Bali. And if their wedding photos are anything to go by, I'm assuming that those honeymoon pics are going to be stunning as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah? Awesome. Congratulations to the happy couple.
Halala, helele, hilili.
Did you just... I did hilili
nice.
there with you.
That's the first time you've ever gotten that. Anyway, let's move
on.
on over to another king on the African continent, King Kotini, Ricky Rick. We know him as a fashionable guy, and of course when it comes to style, he's always to be seen at the hottest events. Now, take for example his most recent fashionable adventure. He went to Paris Fashion Week. Kaba depends. What the pants is going on? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But anyway, the rapper shared several photos of himself looking casual as he posed with friends, which included US rapper and rumored Kendall Jenner's beau, A$AP Rocky.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know they were friends like that.
No idea.
Yeah, well, you'll see the photo coming up just now. But we're not sure about, the photos. It's giving me a bit of a Kanye vibe.
Yeah.
You know, but like crazy Kanye, not...
Okay, the crazy Kanye thing.
And I'm just wondering, like, is Ricky Rick bringing back the merce,
Look,
the man purse?
He's rocking that merce, like definitely.
But I like he sticks it on the inside so that you don't really see it. So only when he walks in the jacket flicks open the and you're like, whoa, guy, what is that inside your jacket? I didn't expect it. It matches his hair, which is cool.
It does, and if there's anything that's always on fleek with this guy is his beard, man.
Yeah,
that beard of his trimmed to perfection.
It's like somebody painted it on. Next thing you know, Ricky Rick's gonna be like, purr, it's a fanny pack. Oh, what's going on? I wasn't expecting it.
All right, is that all we have?
That's all we have, man.
That's all we have.
For now.
For now, your local entertainment news. We'll get into your international entertainment a little bit later on this morning. Right now, though, we've been talking about this morning and wondering about it. The latest craze to hit South African shores, it's a toy.
Yeah.
The fidget spinner. What's your take?
My goodness. You know what? When you can spin it and put it on your nose, I've tried it once. It's really cool. Like you stare at it, and then afterwards,
you learn
the coolness
something,
wears
because
off.
apparently, what does it have educational value? We don't know. Let's talk to the experts. Here's Nikki Bush.
Yeah, Nikki Bush. Oh.
The fidget spinner has taken the world by storm. It is the toy that is distracting children from screens and giving them a very different play experience. So this morning, we chat to our creative parenting expert and toy judge this morning, Nikki Bush, about this craze and whether it has any educational value or value at all, and how long is it going to stick around? Nikki, very cool discussion this morning, and I'm so glad we are broaching it because not just children, but the world has literally been taken by storm here. What are fidget spinners? Why do you think they have gained the kind of popularity that they have?
Well, I've got a whole selection of different fidget spinners here this morning, Graham, and I mean, I just sit here and I fiddle with them, you know. For me, I just fiddle with them. But what kids are doing is, these are a challenge. They're intriguing, they're fascinating, they want to master them. So what is a fidget spinner? And I think you can see from the selection I've got here, you can have some inexpensive plastic ones, and then we've got some real designer kind of metal jobs here. And some of these are more weighted on the outside, like this is my favorite one, actually. And there's a bearing in the middle, so it can be two-pronged, three-pronged, all sorts of sizes, but generally smaller than the palm of the hand. There's a huge amount of fine motor coordination, spatial planning and problem solving going on here. But they get these spinners spinning, and they throw them from hand to hand, and they keep spinning. They throw them up in the air, they catch them, they keep spinning. They move them around their body.
These are new skills for the human being.
Yeah, they are actually being incredibly athletic with a fine motor coordination object.
You know, the name itself says a lot. Fidget spinner.
Yes.
Was this intended to be that? To kind of be something that you can fidget with, to concentrate harder? What is the educational value? You've mentioned the fine motor skills, but is there a deeper impact, do you think?
Well, apparently, the original designs were created about 5 or 6 years ago and never taken to market. And the original idea about these objects was that they would be very good for autistic children, people with anxiety disorders or ADD.
Okay.
Because they kind of... Anybody who's sensory seeking, and you know the executive director who sits there with that little foot tapping, and I want to go, hey, stop it, you're distracting me. So instead of foot tapping, you can actually sit and fiddle with this kind of thing. And for some people, movement is necessary for learning and for concentration. So the original intention of these was actually for people who needed the therapeutic value. Okay.
Does it work?
It actually does. I have to be honest. If I sit and fiddle with this for a couple of minutes, I feel calmer. So for the average person, it makes you feel calmer. And you know, one of the things that we talk about often on the show is screens are great, but how do we get kids off a screen? And this is one of the things that is getting kids off a screen, because I think it's the fascination value. It's also the brain-body connection. So while I'm busy fiddling and faffing with this, I can actually feel my brain being flooded with endorphins. There's happiness hormones being released that are different to what happens to me on a screen.
And I can promise you she is not being paid to endorse this product. Thank you so much for going as in-depth as you have into this discovery. It's cool to see you getting a kick out of this as well. But I've got this vision in my mind of CEOs of companies in high-pressure pitches just walking in with their spinner. But we're going to continue this very interesting chat, get a little deeper into what it could mean for your child, and also the craze element of that is something I'm really interested in finding out a bit more about. But you can let us know what you think of these spinners. Hit us up on our Expresso Morning Show Facebook page.
I don't know, I guess maybe if you could teach a child to explain centrifugal motion through a fidget spinner, there would be some kind of value for me for that. For me, one day when I have children, hey, fidget spin on your head outside.
Ek het klei laat gespeel. As is in
you know what I mean? That's
it's motor skills with the clay on the end of the stick and throwing it and aiming, and you see, this was our fidget spinners.
Okay, that was fun.
No.
Anyway,
I was just
carry on.
Stop
carry
it,
on,
man.
carry on.
Anyways, so with the school holidays upon us, we have another exciting Expresso New Metro Movie Club giveaway. This time, a movie that the whole family will enjoy. Now, Gru and his havoc-wrecking minions, all right, they're back in Despicable Me 3, and they have an unexpected guest, though, Gru's long-lost twin brother, Drew, who wants to team up for one last criminal heist. Now, the minions are going big for this one, and because of that, we're giving away 5 double tickets to see the film in New Metro's Extreme Cinemas at Canal Walk, Ballito Junction, Clearwater Mall, The Glen, and Menlyn Park. Now, Extreme means world-class sound, including overhead speakers on some of SA's largest cinema screens.
Absolutely. Now, to stand a chance to win and see the brothers in action, simply SMS the keyword DESPICABLE plus your name and city to 40675. Remember, you do need to add the city in which you are able to watch that screening. That's very, very important. So I guess everyone is very excited and asking themselves if the third installment of the franchise will live up to the hype of its predecessors. Will the brothers work together, or will it be a battle of Gru versus Drew? Enter now, and you can find out.
Find the best entertainment at New Metro Cinemas. It's your scene.
It's going to be a great movie, man.
Yeah.
All right, now just before we go into the ad break, can we just do that thing we missed out on earlier?
Thank
you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
bro.
I've got your
really
back.
Just kind of
got your back.
Yeah.
It
Yes,
hurts.
mate. Donkey.
It's okay.
All right.
Listen, still ahead on your Feel Good Breakfast show this morning. In our What's Trending segment this morning, man, a story that got the internet buzzing. Bruno Mars fell asleep at the BET Awards.
Yeah, when you put too many pinky fingers to the moon, you get tired and you sleep. And then ShugaSmakx is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be sharing some music with us. Cannot wait. Haven't seen this guy in a long time, man. It's going to be so nice. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Struggle with commitment? Before trying anywhere else, book on TravelStart. We will turn your guilt trips into good trips. Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
At Samsung, we develop technology so you can live life. Samsung, a way of life.
Welcome back. We're live, large and in charge on your Feel Good Breakfast show on this Wednesday morning. Right now, time for us to check out all those interesting, funny and random stories that we've stumbled across on social media. Hopefully tickle your funny bone a little bit.
I don't think I've stopped laughing for this entire show. Dude.
Oh, no, it's been a good one. It's been a good Wednesday so far, man. Let's get into it. The first story this morning, a little boy got hold of his grandpa's leaf blower, okay, and he went mad with the power. So this little boy's dad posted the video on YouTube and he captioned it, "My son picked up my father's leaf blower and immediately turned into a supervillain."
That's where you're going to go, oh man, that's what you're going to do, the double fist.
That is so cool.
Like,
magic.
Do not buy the kid toy guns. But guys, this one, I don't know what to think of because it's an absolute shocker for the world. Because, you know, the BETs took place the other day. And during Mary J. Blige and A$AP Rocky's performance at the BET Awards, the camera kind of zoomed into the audience and caught none other than Bruno Mars, who was deciding to take a nap. I don't know if that's like a long blink or a nap, but Twitter won't let him live it down.
He was enjoying the music.
Maybe, when you're 45 minutes into a conference call. That's true. Me doing the BET Awards skits, okay, I don't know, but maybe it wasn't that bad. Anything else that they were saying? That was it. I was just thinking that maybe he's been lifting those pinky fingers to the moon, you know? And when you got 24 carats and it's heavy, you get tired and then naturally just...
Oh man, just when you thought there was far too much testosterone on the studio floor this morning, we bring in the cuteness in a big way. We're talking about a ferret, okay? A ferret that was so proud of it. What do you call baby ferrets? Little... I don't know, little ferreties.
Kids?
Yeah, little kids. But she's getting her human to take a note of these beautiful little baby ferrets by actually dragging her across there. Just too sweet, man. That's a proud mama. It's a little wee ferret, man. Look at that. No, don't bite him.
No, it's like,
put the ferret back in
I'll
the
show
box.
you, but just don't take it. Don't touch.
No, come have a look.
Look at that.
Come have
Not
a look.
done, not done.
My ferrets.
They're just
my babies.
Adorable, man.
They're just some pets that I just won't, eh?
You won't ferret.
I won't ferret. I can't
You won't
ferret.
ferret.
Anyway, let us know which hashtag or videos or stories have caught your attention. And of course, when you do share them with us online on Facebook and on Twitter, please do use our official hashtag Expresso Show. But right now, time for some umculo on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And we're joined by a man who certainly has stamped his name solidly on the South African music industry, not only as a member and a founding member of Squatter Camp, but also in his very own solo career. And right now, he's about to perform one of his latest songs that feature Kaya Mtetwa and the Kings of the Weekend. I'm talking about none other than ShugaSmakx.
Yeah.
And here he is with Rise.
Yes. Oh. Rise and rise and rise again. From the bottom, stand up and shine again. And we rise and rise and rise again. For the children, for tomorrow, for the women and men. And we rise and rise and rise again. From the bottom, stand up and shine again. And we rise and rise and rise again. For the children, for tomorrow, for the women and men. And we Ngosiso mandla mdali wazona zonke besicela amandla nomthwalo sukhona singadidwa izinto esizibona kulomhlaba intombi idakamisi nezinto ezenzwa nemali. Let me not stray from your righteous ways, but Lord, temptation got me thinking crime pays. If I fall from your grace, I'll be in humble disgrace. But even if I ate from a bin, I still kneel and say grace. Cause I'm grateful for everything you give and you gave. Poverty, my nightmare, so this king works like a slave. Let the rich feed the poor, let your will be done. And we rise again like the shining sun.
In everything we know and we try.
Rise and rise and rise again.
In every storm and through every trial.
Rise and rise and rise again. 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 Hey.
In everything we know and we try.
Rise and rise and rise again.
In every storm and through every trial.
Rise and rise and rise again. Rise and rise and rise again. Another day, another dollar, they said. Another day, another day didn't go my way. Another day to kneel down for the future I pray. Another day closer to when we say, hey.
Yeah, we made it.
Yeah, we made it.
Even when they said for sure they fake it.
We never fake it.
There's no telling where this road will lead.
Yes.
Believing in our destiny. I know it's got a plan.
So until that day comes, Mzala, we keep at it. You begin for sure, until we get it. Nothing for my holla, faith, character, prayer, prosperity for us all, and love thy neighbor so.
We out in these streets,
yes,
trying to tell somebody. Woo. And no matter what lies
say
ahead,
what,
we gonna make it anyway.
Let's go.
It's gonna be a brighter day.
Rise and rise and rise again. Shine again. Rise and rise and rise again. Shine again. Rise and rise and rise again. Shine again. Rise and rise and rise again.
We gonna rise.
Say, rise and rise and rise again. Shine again. Rise and rise and rise again.
We know we'll rise.
Rise and rise and rise again. Shine again. Rise and rise and rise again. For the children, for tomorrow, for the women and men.
Rise.
Rise and rise and rise again. Thank you so much for the inspiration,
Brother,
motivation, music education on this Wednesday morning, man. Listen, let us know what you thought about ShugaSmakx's performance on our Feel Good Breakfast Show Facebook page, and we'll have more from the man a little bit later on. Right now, time for the news.
Thank you, Kat. Let's quickly take a look at your news headlines nice and early on your Wednesday morning. Now, Stats SA's latest figures show the decline in employment in the first quarter of this year was driven by losses in the manufacturing and trade sectors of the economy. Speaking in Pretoria yesterday, Statistician General Paulina Klotzbücher announced the first quarter formal sector employment survey results, which show a quarter-on-quarter decline of 48,000 jobs. Leokhla says among almost all sectors, with a few exceptions, recorded declines in employment. Then Reserve Bank Governor Lesetja Kganyago has filed an urgent application to the North Gauteng High Court to set aside the remedial action proposed by the Public Protector concerning the Bancor bailout during the apartheid era. Last week, Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane said the bank had failed in its duties to protect the public by not ensuring that Absa Bank repaid an apartheid-era bailout given to failed bank Bancor. The rand weakened by at least 1% yesterday afternoon following the Reserve Bank's application. In your international news this morning, a powerful cyber attack that started in Ukraine has spread across the world, hitting banks, government IT systems and energy firms. Russian, Indian and Dutch firms were also amongst those hit after Ukraine declared it was struck by the biggest cyber attack in its history. The country's Interior Ministry said the hack was a modified version of the WannaCry virus, a type of ransomware that crippled NHS computer systems in May. And then lastly, First Minister of Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon, has said there will not be another Scottish independence referendum until the terms of Brexit are clearer. In March, Ms Sturgeon has said she wanted to give Scots a second chance to vote on leaving the UK sometime between the autumn of 2018 and the spring 2019. But she has now said that while the Scottish Government remains committed strongly to the principle of giving Scotland a choice at the end of this process, she has reset her timetable. That's where we leave your news headlines for now.
So cricket first in the world of sports, and the Proteas ladies up against New Zealand, the Whitebirds today in their second game of the Women's Cricket World Cup. South Africa will hope to maintain their winning start to the tournament. They currently sit in 5th place on the overall standings. That was after their 3-wicket victory over Pakistan in their first round of fixtures. Today's match takes place at the Country Ground in Derby from 11:30 this morning. Then we are down to the final 4 in the Confederations Cup. As semi-final action gets underway tonight after finishing top of Group A. Our European champions Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal will have to get past Alexis Sanchez and a very strong Chilean side should they hope for a place in that final showdown. The last meeting between the two sides, of course, saw a 1-1 draw back in their international friendly in 2011, so it's been some time. Tonight's semi-final kicks off at the Kazan Arena at 8 o'clock. Then staying with the beautiful game, Tanzania kept their place at the top of the Group A in the Chaffe Cup after they played out to a goalless draw with Angola in Rustenburg last night. The result leaves Tanzania in first place with 4 points from their 2 games. Angola sitting 1 place back in second, only behind due to goal difference. The other result from last night, Mauritius and Malawi, they also shared the spoils in a goalless draw. Then some sad news for the Lions and their captain. They'll be without Warren Whiteley for the rest of the Super Rugby season due to injury. Whiteley, of course, also our Springbok captain, will be on the sidelines for 6 to 8 weeks as he recovers from a torn pelvis ligament injury that he picked up during a Springbok training session last week. So the Lions will have to do without Whiteley when they face the Sunwolves in Super Rugby action this weekend. Elsewhere, we've got the Bulls taking on the Sharks and another local derby, the Cheetahs battling the Stormers. That's a wrap of your sport for now.
Let's get into your traffic for your Wednesday morning. It's just after 7 o'clock. Starting off with Gauteng Rodepoort on the N1. There's a veld fire causing poor visibility between Main Reef Road Bridge and Albertina Sisulu Road exit. If you are on that route, please drive with care. Then in Germiston, the earlier accident on the N3 northbound, it has been cleared. However, you can still expect congestion from the Elands interchange. Then in Cape Town, Brackenfell, there has been an accident on the N1 inbound, and that's before the Brackenfell Boulevard, and traffic is queuing from Kraaifontein. And just on another note, the roads in Cape Town are wet. Please drive with care. Right now, let's get into your weather and see what it holds for your Wednesday. And it seems like most parts of the country can expect very cool temperatures with showers along the coast from the KZN region down to the Western Cape. However, Richards Bay and Pietermaritzburg are expecting warm temperatures for your Wednesday. Jou temperatuur op Polokwane begin op 6 grade minimum en 'n maksimum van 22. Mbombela 11 grade minimum en 'n warmer 29 later. Pretoria 25. Johannesburg begin op 'n koel 3 en dit bly koel met 'n maksimum van 18. Mahikeng 4 grade minimum en 'n maksimum van 22. Klerksdorp 1 graad lekker koud en 'n maksimum van 21. Kimberley 2:17. Bloemfontein aan baie koud vandag -3 vanoggend en dit bly koel met 'n maksimum van 18. Richards Bay 17:30. Pietermaritzburg op 10 grade minimum en 'n maksimum van 27. Durban kicking off on 17 and a mild 24 later. Mthatha 4 degrees and 23 maximum. East London starting off on 9 degrees minimum with a maximum of 22 degrees. Cradock 2:19. Port Elizabeth on 7 degrees minimum this morning with a maximum of 18. George kicking off on 5 degrees, staying cool with a maximum of 14. Very cold for Sutherland today, 0 degrees this morning, staying cold with a maximum of only 7. Cape Town 6:15 and Worcester starting off on 1 degree this morning with a maximum of 13. Springbok 6:13 and Uppington kicking off on 2 degrees and reach a maximum of 17 degrees. I'll be back in an hour's time from now, just after 8 o'clock, with another roundup of those temperatures.
All right, listen, it's time for us to play Emoji Charades. You know how it works. We test out whether your entertainment news knowledge is up to scratch. We're going to show you a couple of emojis, give you a few clues, and then yours is to get in online and link up with us on expressoshow.com or Expresso Show, that's on Twitter, or Expresso Morning Show SABC3, that's our Facebook page, and then let us know whether you can guess this song, this movie, this TV show, whatever it is.
This was pretty tough this morning. I think we're going to need those.
I'm going to play along with you guys at home. I haven't even looked at any of the clues. So what are the clues?
Okay, so we've got a song that was released back in 1989 by a British singer-songwriter from his album But Seriously, okay? So try not to Google this if you can. In the song, he encourages people not to turn a blind eye to less fortunate people who are homeless. So it had a strong meaning. And it became one of the most successful songs, I think, for that artist, winning the Grammy for Record of the Year in 1991. We've got Palm Tree, we've got Beach.
Oh yeah, it's that song. What's that song by that British artist?
What's that thing with the stuff?
17th of July on the beach with a palm
the
tree.
sun in my face.
I love that song.
I love it, man.
No,
love
it is not that song. It's absolutely something else, and I'm trying to guess just as good as you are at home. So link up with us on social media and let us know whether you can guess our emoji charades. This is a tough one. 17th of July.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, it is a rather tough one. We'll reveal those answers a little bit later on. But right now, let's quickly take a look at what is trending on Twitter. It is a Wednesday, so naturally, hashtag Wednesday Wisdom is currently trending as well. Let's take a look at what people are saying. Anand Singh Anya says, try not to depend on others, and that's how you can have a creative day, when you will work hard and learn and have experience. I love this. Either you run the day or the day runs you. Simple but true. And then Hagimi says, go wild for a while. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. wisdom. I love that. The social jukebox. I love this one as well. Education is an ornament in prosperity and a refuge in adversity. That was said by Aristotle. And let's see. Manoj Kumar says, forget all the reasons why it won't work and believe the one reason why it will. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. That's going on Twitter at the moment. Have a lekker Wednesday.
So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to find out what kind of person are you month end. Are you one of those kind of people?
Are you a
or are you like an end of the month salty cracks kind of person? We're going to have a bit of a laugh at some of our month end money worries.
Yeah. Then we also talk about money worries, but this time around involving romance scams. Apparently you can get scammed out of your money if your heart is not in the right place. Be careful out there. Oh, how low are these criminals willing to go? We'll see you after the break.
When you feed your dog's health, you also feed his happiness. And wonderful things can happen. Like he's able to go from 0 to boundless get up and go. And a fluffier coat unlocks maximum cuddle potential. Because you're feeding the clinically proven nutrition of Hill's Science Plan. Precisely prepared with top quality ingredients. After all, when he's healthier, he's happier. And a dog's tail never lies. Give him the science of happy. Found in the brand recommended by vets worldwide.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We're live, large and in charge on your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. And if you check your calendar right now, you'll realize that it's the end of the month. And I know we're all wondering, where did the money go? And when is my salary coming in? You're waiting for quick. Yeah, but it hasn't come yet. But listen, you're not alone because things are really tight, man. I know.
Yeah, come on, man.
Because in the beginning of the month, we're all balling out of control and it's amazing. But soon the final weeks come and then you're like, and you can literally hear that coin dropping in your bank account, like, you're like, what's going on? It sounds like a blicky. But since we're all feeling it, we found some of the funniest memes out there to sum up how I think we're all generally feeling about this end of the month struggle.
It is pretty tough out there, and this is that time of the month where you do want to see your bank balance because you want to see if your salary's coming, but you also want to kind of avoid it if you can.
Let's see how these sum up how we all feel. Prepare yourself. I'm guessing I should probably have about $200 left. Bank account 3. Just feeling so touched. Like, but how? The next one, let's see. Me, I'm done spending money. I'm going to be responsible and save. Any store. Surprise sale. Hey! That's a good one. Sometimes you have to hit no receipt at the ATM because you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. You know, the way my life is set up right now, I don't need that negativity.
I'm going to do it. One? Oh, man, I love that, dude.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's the most broke memory you have? Like when you were like so broke, you were the brokest broke.
Dude, okay, there's two things actually. It's funny how it always relates to food. I think also for guys generally, it's your food. Then once I'd made the mistake, obviously during a very good time of the month, I bought what I thought was like filter coffee, but it was coffee beans, okay? And I didn't have like a grinder or anything. At the end of the month, I was roasting coffee beans in the oven to eat like cereal, dude. Okay?
Guys,
I didn't even have sugar to sprinkle on top,
Can I just say, I have never been that broke. I'm not even going to try and compare stories. It's cool, Graham.
It's relate to you. We feel you, man.
But listen, what we're just saying is that you're not alone out there. We feel it too. We work so hard for our cash, and all we want is that our money should work just as hard for us too. And the 5 Rand pay-as-you-use account from Nedbank allows you to do just that. More value for your buck, or in this case, $5. From unlimited swipes to free online and internet banking. And if you're keen to find out more about it, find us on Facebook. There you'll find a link to the info that you need. And while you're there, also please share some of your month-end survival hacks with us. We really want to hear from you. Like for me, Oros, Doritos, I'm surviving.
1 Dorito a day.
I'm a dreamer. A doer. I know the hustle. I just need my money to hustle for me.
Well, a guy's got to do what a guy's got to do to survive this end of the month of money blues. But right now, though, whether you're swiping left or swiping right, the perfect match could easily be the perfect scam as well. But how do you protect yourself from the romance scallums hiding behind those charming profile pics? Be aware and stay one step ahead thanks to Sabric.
The internet is fantastic, isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, from online shopping to finding the love of your life, it's pretty much a one-stop shop for anything you can think of. But how do you know if you found the one on a dating site or if you're dealing with a predator who's looking for his or her next victim? Well, Culinary, the CEO of the South African Banking Risk Information Centre, or SABRIC, joins us once again to tell us about romance scams. And I can already just feel the hearts of millions of South Africans dropping because once again, we have something that is just intruding on our personal lives because love is something that people take very seriously. Tell us about romance scams, Culinary.
What's happening is that perpetrators, scamsters really, absolute con artists, I mean, I just can't use any other words, unfortunately prey on people's emotional state. They know that, they go onto dating websites, legitimate ones. They go through, they develop a profile for themselves to match certain people that they might have targeted, so that
swipe
they
left,
get
swipe right.
So they get a response. They know if this particular person's put in their profile, they're looking for a particular kind of person. So it's really quite targeted in those instances. In other instances, they just look to see whoever it is that they can scam. And again, what they do is that they play on the emotions of the person that they're communicating with. You know, they know exactly what buttons to press. They would try and develop this relationship. They try to confide in you, and really what it is about, they're great and they have absolute skills in terms of building trust. And they're doing this deliberately. And unfortunately, you know, people respond, women particularly, we haven't had as many responses that men have become victims. I'm sure many of them are, and probably are embarrassed to say so, but it is an embarrassment. You feel embarrassed. You lose your self-esteem, not only your money. So it's a very serious matter.
And the scary thing is that you're saying that this actually happens on legitimate sites as well, not even the many thousands that are out there, but the ones that we actually know are quite popular. So what are the telltale signs that you are possibly being scammed?
Well, I think the things that one should look out for is the fact that the person you're communicating with, especially if he's a scamster, would often have some kind of exotic job. They would say that they're working in the army, they're in the navy, they're at the United Nations. They look for jobs where there's a lot of travel involved. They also would very soon into the communications start spilling out, you know, all their personal stories. And it's really about trying to get you to believe that they trust you. And that's why they're telling you about this. They're showing you their emotional side. They're showing you their soft side. And of course, women respond well to this kind of thing because now there's a trust developing. They say all the right things. And what we also say that you should look out for is that the communications sometimes have different fonts. And the reason for this is because they sit in a room with a whole lot of different people who are part of responding to the online, the people that are looking to make
scams.
Friends. And they cut and paste. One particular person could be talking to 5, 6, 10 different people at the same time. You also would find that they won't use your name. So they won't say hi and your name. They may say hi gorgeous, hi beautiful, and that's because these generic references enables them to cut and paste quickly. So it's really a horrible thing because when people look back at it, they realize how embarrassing and terrible it is for them.
So then what would be the steps one should take if you do think that you are a victim of a scam like this, a romance scam?
Well, certainly look out for all of this, but I think the thing that you should always be, the biggest sign that you ought to look out for is the fact that they would ask you for money, or they would get to a situation where you almost start volunteering money because you're now feeling so sorry for them. So never ever pay anybody any sum of money, especially if you're communicating with them online, if it's somebody who you'd be befriending, they've spun you a story that's so sad, and that they
and it could be the most devastating thing, somebody telling you about how, you know, their sister now needs an operation and they just need you to deposit.
Child.
Or something like that.
This is it. They play on your emotions. And that's how they manipulate you. Also, they could have say all these lovely, wonderful things and tell you, well, look, next month I'm coming over to visit you. And of course, you get this whole wonderful, warm, fuzzy feeling because you think, gosh, you're going to have this weekend. And then suddenly they say, look, they don't have access to their funds. Can you just transfer this money to me? I'll pay it back to you when I get there. And, you know, it's that kind of thing. And I think that's what people need to watch out for. And also, they get lots of information from your social media platforms. So you should be careful. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us once again. We really do appreciate it. I think at the end of this, rather a broken heart than a broken bank account. Now remember, never ever send money on request to anyone that you're communicating or making friends with over the internet. In fact, if you'd like to see more tips on how to wise up and watch out, visit the Sabric website and their Facebook and Twitter page.
Wise up, watch out.
Now we continue very much in that same vein, and it was the infamous 419 email scam that left, I think, much of the world with the impression, the misconception that all Nigerians are scammers. But we certainly know this is not true, just like South Africans aren't all criminals because we have a high crime rate. So we thought we'd throw something out there, something quite humorous, to challenge that stereotype. So this is the unfortunate story of 3 poor Nigerians who got scammed by an American con artist.
Can't believe it. And this is such a crazy story, man. Marco Ramirez from America, he successfully scammed Nigerians of over $5 million, all right, with the promise of lucrative investments and immigration services.
It's the scale of it that is mind-blowing. So he
Mental.
promised them American green cards, so they kept giving him money. And Marco told the Nigerians that the money was facilitating fees with the American immigration services, which of course later turned out to be completely untrue.
Ugh, man, you know what? But, well, Ramirez got what he deserved. He's been arrested and he is now in prison.
I'm assuming the photo that we showed you is pre-prison, not post. So we certainly hope that the money eventually is returned. But for now, it's a worthwhile lesson to challenge stereotypes, first of all, and recognize people as the individuals that they are. And if it looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Well, stay with us after the break. When we come back, we talk about the bleisure trend right now in travel, and of course, lots more on your Feel Good Breakfast show. So we'll see you after the break.
It's my feel good. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your Feel Good Breakfast show. Happy Wednesday to you, and thank you so much for tuning in and starting off your day with us. Now, if there's one travel trend that is hot and growing at the moment, it's called bleisure travel. It's no longer surprising to see business travelers add personal leisure time to their work-related trips on a holiday to Europe or an African safari. So TravelStart's Paulina Klotzbücher joins us to chat about how bleisure travel is trending right now, and it provides a great opportunity to find the perfect mix between work and some much-needed downtime with the family, which is, I think, what we're all hoping for. We want to find that perfect balance, isn't it? I mean, we work so hard, Paulina.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all about taking your work trip and extending it for leisure, but actually it's also about the converse. It's about taking your leisure trip and
making some serious cash from it and doing business.
But also it's about, I think a lot of times people don't have a lot of leave. They don't have a lot of opportunity to travel. Like this, you can actually combine the two a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I am here to talk to you about answering emails on holiday. I know, it sounds fantastic for a Wednesday morning. So.
Well, I mean, it all depends on how you do it and how you structure it, right? So is it one of those, when you talk about bleisure travel, right?
Yeah.
Are you doing it halfies in that, let's say, the first week of your holiday is meant for business and the last week for pleasure? Or do you kind of go... mix them about as you have days off? How does it work?
Well, it depends on obviously what you're trying to achieve and what your job is.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally it would be, spending 1 or 2 hours answering your emails, working on a project, and fitting in sightseeing wherever you are around your business trips.
Yes.
So it's more about that. It's more about creating balanced lifestyles.
Yeah.
So instead of coming home and then watching TV, you go out and explore a new city.
Yeah.
So especially working remotely, that's the whole trend that kind of piggybacks off, with connectivity, with mobile phones. Everyone can kind of work from anywhere in the world nowadays.
Is this a trend that's catching on here in South Africa, or is this more an international trend?
I think it's actually pretty strong in South Africa, especially because we're so far away from everything. So when we travel to Europe, it really makes sense to spend that extra day or two to go and explore where you visited, rather than, flying there, going for a conference and flying all the way back.
Exactly.
Plus, with Wi-Fi on planes nowadays, there's no easier way to burn 12 hours on a plane than, going through your inbox. You arrive, you're productive, you've done stuff.
What's that credit card limit, right? Make sure that you subscribe to the smaller packages at a time. So tell me about how TravelStart is making things more pleasurable.
Well, we're all about mobile. We're all about on the go. And it's also about selecting the right flight. So it's about, for example, when you're traveling, as opposed to catching a return flight at 6 p.m., maybe you can catch a little bit of a later flight and get a couple of extra hours in the city. And TravelStart's online booking platform allows you to do that.
Yeah. If you were to book a pleasure holiday for yourself, how would you go about it in terms of the planning before, going through the booking, making sure that, for instance, I'd say, that you're going to Rustenburg, for instance, to go and do business there, but next to Rustenburg is Sun City, so that's a place where you can have pleasure. What are the kind of the tips that you have in order to plan a pleasure trip?
Well, I can actually give you a realistic example. So I recently, a while ago, went to Istanbul, and I went there for meetings, and we have an office there. And I could have flown back earlier in the evening, but instead I took the midnight flight. I had a whole 6-7 hours in the city. I was able to, with some smart planning.
Yes.
I took a colleague with me. We went around the entire city. We managed to talk business while going to the Hagia Sophia, going for dinner. It was productive. It was great fun. And yes, I caught the midnight flight, landed at 10 o'clock in the morning,
Sounds wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Just combining the two together.
Well, let's hope that we can all do it successfully, because in today's ever-connected world, the pleasure trend allows travelers to enjoy some much-needed downtime while on a business trip. And remember that when you book any of your flights at TravelStart.coza, you will receive a voucher for 50% off your next Uber rides to and from the airport, giving your travel itinerary a much-needed flexibility.
It would be my guitar.
A little bit of local knowledge. A sunblock, of course.
And my husband.
So earlier this morning, we started broaching the subject fidget spinners, why they've become such a massive craze, and now learning more about their therapeutic and educational and fine motor skill value. And I can see you're a convert. Nikki Bush, our creative parenting expert, is loving especially your particular one there. But when we look at this as being a craze, why has it taken off in the world? Because you said they've been around for a while, but now they really seem to be a craze.
Yeah, so they hit the States in December, and they hit our shores about a month or so ago, and suddenly you see all these kids using them.
Everywhere.
One of the reasons why they are so popular is because they're so accessible.
So now you're seeing so much value in these. Why are schools banning them?
So yes, the educational value from fine motor coordination to actually stimulating the tips of the fingers, very tactile, very multi-sensory play experience. The problem is that it's all very well if 2 or 3 kids who have ADD or whatever are using them as a learning assistance tool. But when you have 35 kids in a class all sitting there in front of the teacher spinning an object, I think that must be hell of a distracting.
Thinking with half of their mind as well.
You know, it is supposed to be a tool that leads to concentration, but I think when there's an en masse group playing with them, it will be distracting for the teacher, let alone anybody else. So I think that that's why they're being banned from classrooms. Also, if you take these metal ones, if they're used as missiles in the playground, could be quite dangerous.
I mean, we've seen a lot of crazes go south when they enter onto the schoolyard.
So I think basic common sense applies. If there's too many in a classroom, they can't be used. The kind of kids who should really be using them are the kids who should be sitting on those balls or foam wedges or using a stress ball for anxiety during class. Those are the kids who really need them. If I was a teacher, I would be a bit smart. And I'd say, right, we've got a double period of science right now. When we hit the middle, then we're going to take them out, and for 2 minutes we can wake up our brains and we can have a little competition or something, and then we're packing them away. And then just the same as in the classroom at home, we also need some boundaries. I wouldn't have these at my dinner table. You also need to teach children when it's appropriate to take them out. So places of worship, no. In restaurants where it might be distracting to other people, no. If it's not a child-friendly restaurant.
Sure,
so, just use some basic common sense.
And I love the fact that it can be used as a practical tool. So rather be proactive, rather than just banning, like you've added, be commonsensical about it and use them as a positive learning aid. Use them to engage your child.
Yes, and the other thing is if you actually start Googling like fidget spinners and maths, teachers are actually starting to create games using fidget spinners and numbers. So, there's a lot to be said. I just think there's a lot of educational value, a lot of therapeutic value, and a lot of fun to be had.
It's just cool, man. Just say it, Nikki. It's just really cool.
It's cool, it's fun,
new toy. Oh, I love it. Thank you again so much for really putting this little gizmo to the test. The fidget spinner seems to get 2 thumbs up, but it's got to be used in the right way. Use this as an opportunity to learn and to engage your child's senses, but make sure that common sense plays a role as well.
Now, the reason we choose to travel around the world today, the reasons are changing, and we are no longer just taking a holiday. Instead, we're going on a buddy moon or a bleisure travel trip. Vacation. Combine any 2 words, put them together, it makes a travel reason. Not entirely sure what these travel buzzwords mean. Well, TravelStart's Paulina Klotzbücher is also back to chat about why we should forget about solo travel in 2017 and rather focus on the huge growing trends that are right now. Bleisure travel is what we're talking about. And earlier on, while we were talking about it, I was trying to figure out the difference between bleisure versus leisure travel. What would you say are the differences there?
Well, the difference is for bleisure, you're actually also combining work with it. So one should bring one's laptop. Going to Nepal for bleisure travel might not really work. I'm not quite sure if the Wi-Fi connectivity is so great up there, but yeah.
Like Machu Picchu would be great, but it wouldn't be a bleisure destination.
Yeah, unless, I don't know, maybe you're a writer and you're, going to be stopping in between your hikes up, to like put together chapters. But yeah.
Okay, so it depends on the kind of business
not really
you're
the top destination in my head on that.
I get that. So how is TravelStart recognizing this growing trend in the travel industry?
Well, we have, obviously we serve the leisure market, and we've recently launched .biz, which is our corporate platform. Everything is mobile friendly, and users will be able to flip between their business and their corporate bookings within their own, on their mobile phones. We allow customers to select the right flight to suit their needs. They can filter and find the perfect flight with the right layover, because obviously for bleisure travel, you don't want to have the 12-hour layover somewhere. You are geared towards productivity as well.
Yeah.
So.
And we were talking earlier on about the first decisions you need to make when you're booking a bleisure trip. What would those be?
Well, it depends whether you're going on corporate, on a conference, and it's fortuitous bleisure. So, for example, you're going to Amsterdam for a conference and you've decided to stay a day or two later to explore the city, or if you've decided to actively go somewhere and work remotely for a period of time. So that's obviously the first kind of, this starting point.
Yeah, then you got to make sure that you pack the right kind of things.
Packing, yes. Well, I'm a female, so that's a very important point that we should cover. Well, I tend to always go hand luggage, so it's important to be able to pack things that can convert from sightseeing to meetings. Luckily, I work in the tech space, so sneakers are de rigueur.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
I think as long as you're able to pack together a 24 to 48 hour wardrobe into one bag, you're doing very, very well.
Yeah, monochromatic colors work.
There we go.
A pair of sneakers, and suddenly you can work it in all rooms.
No, thank you very much for joining us this morning, Paulina. And as I said earlier on, of course, we are living in a world that is always connected, and so we always are traveling, and so that's why the bleisure trend allows travelers to enjoy some much-needed downtime while they are on their business trip. So when you are booking your flights on TravelStart.co.za, you will be receiving a voucher for a 50% discount off of your next Uber rides to and from the airport. So check it out, TravelStart.co.za.
Book on TravelStart. We will turn your guilt trips into good trips.
Well, stick around here with us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show on this Feel Good Wednesday. It truly is a Feel Good Wednesday at that as well. We're going to take a look at those top local hits that's topping the charts. We're hanging out with Nick Hammond with your 5FM Top 30.
Yeah, a bit of a revamped chart there. Then our fashion superstars are in the house. Nick and Alexis are here to broach the big one on any fashion calendar. It's Paris Fashion Week. We'll see you in a moment.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, only on SABC 3. Right now, let's get into your international entertainment news.
When last did you hear upside, inside out? We haven't heard about Ricky Martin in a long time, right?
No, actually not.
Yeah,
he's not on the news often.
Yeah, he usually likes to keep things hush-hush, but not when it comes to the wedding bells, because we know that, celebrities like to keep it on the down low. But Ricky Martin is not one of them. He spoke to E! News, and the singer shared that he's wedding to partner Juan Josef or Juan Josef would be an enormous affair. Take a look at this.
Talk about wedding, but no one is talking about the planning of the wedding, and it's because it's so difficult. It is. I didn't know it was so complicated to put together an event like the one we want. But it's going to be a big event. I want something massive.
Is there any must-have that you want at your wedding?
Well, for sure, I want to get married in Puerto Rico. That is something that has to happen. Is where I'm from. It's where my family's from, and it's a beautiful scenario. Not only for my wedding, for anyone who's just interested in getting married in the tropics. Say, hey, Puerto Rico. Come join us.
What? Was that you and Stradom? Do you double up as Ricky Martin?
I have my moments, eh?
So listen, we know the wedding's going to be big. We know the location now. I guess we all just need to figure out the date so we can sneak in the back.
All right.
Sneak in the back.
Yeah, you're invited.
Let's talk about the Kardashians right now. Khloe Kardashian turned a year older, and thanks to her BF, Tristan Thompson, the event was quite a family affair. Now, the Kardashian clan, Kardashian-Jenner clan, all gathered to celebrate Khloe's birthday, which reportedly was all planned by Tristan, right? We need to get best friends like that, right? While Khloe did publicly thank Tristan on Twitter, it is these images on Snapchat that were captioned "Mom and Dad" that have the rumor mill abuzz with pregnancy suspicions. What? Is she just having us on, do you think?
I don't know, man.
You know, a baby as a birthday gift, that would be amazing, right?
Wow.
I mean, just think about it. Oh, my goodness.
Well, I'm sure some things will surface soon.
Well, we'll see once that is confirmed or denied. But you don't just post pictures of you two kissing and then say Mom and Dad, and you know what are we supposed to think?
No, that's like saying it directly, almost indirectly. But anyways, that's a wrap of your international entertainment news right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
But it's not a wrap of what our international stars are doing. Why? Because this week we feature a revamped 5FM Top Music Charts. Not only is Mr. Nick Hammond tracking what's been charting locally, and there's some unbelievable tracks, but we now include our international hits as well. And this week, Justin Bieber is dominating with 2 tracks on the 5FM Top 40.
Hey, what's up? It's Nick Hammond looking back at the 5FM Top 40 from the past weekend. And because it's a brand new era of chart shows on 5FM, there are no new entries onto the charts. Everything was a new entry. But we'll begin with my move and shaker picks for the weekend. Coming in at number 20, I've picked Kendrick Lamar's Humble.
My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put little baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note.
My second move and shaker pick I went for this week came in at number 17. It was the highest local entry onto the charts and debuted on Hammond Time only a couple weeks ago. It's AKA Ananati with Don't Forget to Pray.
Don't forget to pray. Yeah. Do you know that God is on the way?
Time to check out the top 10 biggest songs in music for the past weekend, and one of the biggest artists on the continent coming in at number 10. It's Davido with If.
Take it to you. I wanna dash it to you. You can have it to you.
This week at number 9 on the charts, she's making her second attempt at a comeback, this time going once again for a clean look. It's Miley Cyrus and Malibu.
In Malibu, next to you.
This week at number 8, one of the kings of mumble rap, the latest genre to take the hip-hop world by storm, it's Future with Mask Off. Coming in this week at number 7, it's a power duo, Kygo and Selena Gomez. The track's called It Ain't Me.
It ain't me.
Coming in at number 6 this week, it's an artist we haven't heard from in a while, but it looks like he's back in a big way. It's Charlie Puth with Attention.
You just want attention. You don't want my heart. Maybe you just hate the thought of me with someone new.
Sitting at number 5, halfway through the top 10 this week, it's Bruno Mars putting funk back into the pop landscape with That's What I Like.
Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like.
Coming in this week at number 4, and a former number 1, still one of the biggest songs in the planet, released at the beginning of this year, part of his album Divide, it's Ed Sheeran with Shape of You.
I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too.
Coming in this week at number 3, a massive band collaborating with the biggest DJs on the planet, Chainsmokers and Coldplay, with Something Just Like This.
Oh, I want something just like this.
Coming in this week at number 2, just losing out on the number 1 spot, it's DJ Khaled, Quavo, Justin Bieber, and Chance the Rapper with Lil Wayne, called I'm the One.
I'm the one. I'm the only one.
so much for watching. Make sure to catch me, Nick Hammond, Monday to Friday, 9 to 12 on Hammond Time. And of course, every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. to find out which song will be the biggest on the planet according to the 5FM Top 40. And speaking of which, this past weekend, it went to Justin Bieber, Louis Fonso, and Daddy Yankee with Despacito.
Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído.
Oh, that song does things to me, hey? Just, yeah. Feel some type of way. Anyway, right now it's time for us to talk all things men's fashion as we continue our weekly trend reports from the most renowned global fashion capitals. And along the way, of course, we visited London town. We went to Milano last week. And today, our fashion eye turns to Paris. And here to ensure that we get a style summary that keeps us ahead of the curve, our in-house fashion editor, Nick Strelitz, and our fashion consultant, Alexis Chaffe. Good morning to both of you. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Ricky Rick showed us flames, looking all kinds of ways. All kinds of good ways.
Okay, good.
Don't want that black to hate. But quickly tell us about what you thought about the trends that were being showcased at Paris Fashion Week. Nick.
Yeah, well, for me, I don't want to underwhelm anyone, but for me, the word was ordinary, but in the best possible. No. Let me go on, Kat. Let me go on.
Okay.
It was all about wearable fashion for me this time around. So I think designers realize that times are tough, the economy's down, retail is down. They're making clothes that people can actually wear that cross seasons, I think, and that really go the distance. My favorite designers like APC, Julian David Lemaire, Etude, rocking the bomber, your classic white tee, button up, and a classic tailored suit. These are pieces that really cross season, and you can take them from rail to runway. I mean, we have the non-wearable bits still, like Comme des Garçons here, and
listen,
but I mean,
if you're feeling confident enough, I reckon you can rock that one on the right.
Nothing wrong with some glitter.
Am I gonna wear that?
How about it? You just need to work on the packs, man. Get that workout in.
That's
All
actually
right.
my Saturday night look. Sorted.
And Alexis, what are the trends that you think will be making their way onto the fashion scene in the years to come?
Well, we've seen a sprinkling of jumpsuits for men in previous seasons that were always a little bit weird. But for Spring/Summer 18, this idea has now evolved into a more structured overall, or a boiler suit, as they also call it.
Boiler suit,
which I think is a lot more of a flattering and functional look for men. If you look at the cut and the fabrication, there's definitely a very strong athleisure attitude still coming through. But I think we're actually going to see this trend take off maybe in winter sooner than summer, because I think it's a layering piece. It's just got so much, so much versatility to it.
All right. I'm seeing Hawaiian shirts. That is my cue.
That is your cue, right?
It.
Okay.
I mean, with the good comes the bad.
The bad,
and for me, this is like always a disaster. And I'm really upset because my favorite designer, Nicolas Gasquet for Louis Vuitton, did this on the far left you see with like a puka shell necklace as well attached. I don't want to.
Not for you.
It's not really my jam.
But this is now where we talk about the fashion fads and the stuff that probably won't make it onto any street ever, not even past the runways. What were some of those for you?
Hopefully.
Okay. What's your take on that? Is that the Hawaiian shirt for you, Nick, or do you have other fashion fads? Are these yours?
Alexis is touching on another, I think.
So this is my fashion fad. So the waist was actually a huge point of focus in the menswear shows this season. And with this, we saw some extra long belts to some extra long belts to some really extra long belts. And though I think it's a little touch of styling genius, and I think there's some fashion insiders that are going to love this, I just cannot see your average Joe on the street taking to wearing an extra long belt, which could actually double as a dog leash. However,
or a weapon.
I do think that this could take off as a women's wear trend, because we're so used to adorning ourselves with tassels and stuff that's only just looks good. So I think an extra long belt that maybe makes us look a little bit skinny, I think bring it on.
Because I mean, for me, I understand being fashionably adventurous, but when you're looking at these particular outfits, for instance, what are you trying to say, for instance, with that extra elongated piece of leather slapping you like this every time you walk?
Exactly.
It's
just going to irritate you. So for men, it's a no.
What do you make? Out of 10, how much would you give Paris Fashion Week? Have they really delivered on everything that we'll be seeing out there?
I think so. Like, for me, again, it's nice to see clothing that guys can actually take from the runway straight to their closet. It's not all about the glam and the drama, although I love drama, personally. My middle name, but that's what for me, it's great. A 9.
So you liked it a 9, and you
definitely 8 or a 9, and some great tailoring pieces as well.
Beautiful.
And we always see that in Paris.
Well, thanks so much to both of you for keeping us on trend, and of course for all our fashionably fabulous friends out there, you can follow the latest trends on our website expressoshow.com.
So Paris Fashion Week might have been ordinary, according to Nick, but this man has been extraordinary today. He's had a phenomenal career and obviously brought us a phenomenal performance earlier this morning. He's back for one more. ShugaSmakx, so good to have you here.
No, easy, G.
Love it. And then a rather interesting story, is controversial one at that. Entertainment dancers that sparked that controversy, and this is kind of hot off the back of that Twitter trend that we saw, prison strippers. We're going to talk to the authorities and get the lowdown after the break.
When you feed your dog's health, you also feed his happiness. And wonderful things can happen. Like he's able to go from 0 to boundless get up and go. And a fluffier coat unlocks maximum cuddle potential. Because you're feeding the clinically proven nutrition of Hill's Science Plan. Precisely prepared with top quality ingredients. After all, when he's healthier, he's happier. And a dog's tail never lies. Give him the Science of Happy, found in the brand recommended by vets worldwide.
No, we don't worry about that. No, we don't worry about that.
Not at all.
No, we don't worry about anything.
Anything.
We don't worry about anything.
Anything.
We don't really worry about that. No, we don't really worry about that.
It's everyday payday when I'm up in the J with 2 J's, pair J's, and a bay that slays. I'm laid back, top down like a Central Pay with that Yves Saint Laurent and Bhutan today. Us shooting our necks, good times to the right, take a lot to the left. Nice life problems, where to, where next? Don't groove or is in Jafus. And that's funu wise. Triple story dreaming your bag and la pants. No wonder 18 on the rims, diamonds on the rims, and the pillow look good in Burberry sunglasses.
We don't worry about anything. We don't worry about anything. No, we don't worry about that. No, we don't worry about that.
Not at all.
We don't worry about anything. We don't worry about anything. We don't really worry about that. No, we don't really worry about that.
Is that real good? That real hooch? That took shine and mine, more papa type. Hey, more busy just wugile, fandak nyak chela bayola la bazwi. Johnny Tech no chuluga wa. Momindwang ya pepuga ah. Yeah, and I feel good, daga baba. Like it when there's no fish on Sunday morning, daga baba. And I want to another shop joke, who me champagne's cold. Live the life you want, don't wait until tomorrow. Whoa, whoa. Hey.
We don't worry about anything. We don't worry about anything. No, we don't worry about that. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast Express on SABC3. Hanging out with Metro FM award-nominated performer ShugaSmakx in the house. He's sharing music with us all. He was exciting me right now, telling me it's with the lead-up to a potential album next year. But we'll touch on that a little bit. But right now, just sprinkle some sugar on us right now. He's about to perform one of his songs called Anything.
We
Away.
don't worry about anything. We don't worry about anything. No, we don't worry about that. No, we don't worry about that.
Not at all.
We don't worry about anything. We don't worry about anything. anything. We don't really worry about that. No, we don't really worry about that.
It's everyday payday when I'm up in the J with 2 J's, pair J's, and a bay that slays. I'm laid back, top down like a central pay with that Yves Saint Laurent and Bhutan today. Hey, I was shooting her next. Good times to the right, Ticolota to the left. Nice life problems. Where to? Where next? Grubo Use is in Jafus. And that's for no wise. Triple story dreaming your bag and la pants. No under 18 on the rims, diamonds on the rims. And the pillow look good in Burberry sunglasses. Hey.
We don't worry about anything.
Any day.
We don't worry about anything.
Any day.
No, we don't worry about that.
About that?
No, we don't worry about that.
Not at all. We don't worry about
anything.
Any day.
We don't worry about anything.
Any day.
We don't really worry
about that. About that. Hey, hey, hey. This that real gooch, that real hooch. That's some shine and mile, more papa type. Hey, more busy just wugile fandak nyak jela ba yolala bazwi. Johnny Tech no chuluga wa. More bindwang ya pepuga yeah, and I feel good, daga baba. Like it when there's no fish on Sunday morning, daga baba. And I'm a dwan of a shop joke. Put me champagne's cold. If the life you want, don't wait until tomorrow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey.
We don't worry about anything.
Any day.
We don't worry about anything.
Any day.
No, we don't worry about that.
About that.
No, we don't worry about that.
Say. We don't worry about
anything.
Any day.
We don't worry about anything.
Any day.
We don't really worry about that.
About that.
No, we don't really worry about that.
Not at all. All right. We nice. All right. We nice. All night. All right. All night. We nice. All right. We nice. All right. We nice. All night. All right. All night. Yeah. We don't worry about
anything.
Anything.
We don't worry about anything.
Anything.
No, we don't worry about that.
About that.
No, we don't worry about that.
Not at all.
We don't worry about anything.
Anything.
We don't worry about anything.
Anything.
We don't really worry about that.
About that.
No, we don't really worry about that.
Not at all.
We don't worry about anything.
Anything.
We don't worry about anything.
Anything.
No, we don't worry about that.
About that.
No, we don't worry about that.
Not at all.
Yeah! Woohoo! ShugaSmakx, baby! Link up with us on Facebook. Tell us you don't need to worry about nothing right now. Anything. It's all good, man. Thank you so much. Right now, let's check out the latest news headlines.
Thank you, Kat. Kom ons kyk vinnig na jou nuusoortrekke op jou Woensdagoggend in jou nasionale nuus. Statistiek Suid-Afrika se jongste syfers toon dat die afname in indiensneming in die eerste kwartaal van vanjaar te wyte is aan verliese in die vervaardigings- en behandelsektore van die ekonomie. Die statistikus-generaal Paulina het gister in Pretoria bekend gemaak dat opnames van die eerste kwartaal se indiensneming in die formele sektor op 'n kwartaal-tot-kwartaal afname van 48,000 werksgeleenthede dui. Leogla het gesê feitelik alle sektore op enkele uitsonderings na het afnames in indiensneming beleef. Dan die gouverneur van die Suid-Afrikaanse Reservebank, Lesetja Kganyago, het 'n dringende aansoek by die Noord-Gautengse Hooggeregshof ingedien dat die remedierende optrede wat deur die openbare beskermer voorgestel is rakende die finansiële reddingsaksie aan 'n bankkorp in die apartheidsera tersyde gestel word. Advokaat Posisiwe Mqwebane het verlede week aangevoer dat die SARB in sy verpligtinge gefaal het om die publiek te beskerm deur nie toe te sien dat die Absa in finansiële reddingsaksie in die apartheidsera aan die mislukte bankkorp terugbetaal het nie. Die rand het gistermiddag na die Reservebank se aansoek met minstens 1% verswak. In jou internasionale nuusoortrekke vanoggend 'n kragtige kuberaanval wat in die Oekraïne begin het wêreldwyd versprei en banke, regerings, IT-stelsels en energieondernemings is getref. Russiese, Indiese en Nederlandse ondernemings het ook deurgeloop. Die Oekraïne het bekend gemaak dat die kuberaanval die grootste in sy geskiedenis is. Die land se ministerie van Binnelandse Sake meen die aanval was 'n aangepaste weergawe van die sogenaamde WannaCry virus, 'n tipe losprysware wat die nasionale gesondheidsdiens in Brittanje se rekenaarstelsels in Mei lam gelê het. En ten slotte die eerste minister van Skotland, Nicola Sturgeon, sê daar sal nog nie 'n Skotse onafhanklikheidsreferendum plaasvind voordat daar meer duidelikheid oor 'n Brexit se bepalinge bestaan nie. Ms Sturgeon het in Maart verklaar sy wil die Skotte graag tussen herfs 2018 en lente 2019 'n tweede geleentheid bied om oor hulle onafhanklikheid van Brittanje te stem. Nou het sy egter gesê dat haar tuisrooster aangepas is, hoewel die Skotse regering steeds daarin verbind bly om die land aan die einde van die proses 'n keuse te bied. Dit was jou nuusoortrek op jou Goedvoel ontbytprogram vir jou Woensdagoggend.
We start with cricket in our global sports watch, and the Proteas women are up against the White Ferns of New Zealand today. That's in the second game of their Women's Cricket World Cup campaign. South Africa will hope to maintain their winning start to the tournament, currently sitting in 5th place on the overall standings after their 3-wicket victory over Pakistan in the first round of fixtures. Today's encounter takes place at the County Derby ground in Derby from 11:30 this morning. Then on to football, we are down to the final 4 in the Confederations Cup as semi-final action gets underway tonight. After finishing top of Group A, European champions Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal, they will have to get past Alexis Sanchez and a very strong Chilean side should they hope for a place in that final showdown. Last meeting between the two sides saw a 1-1 draw, but it was in that international friendly quite a while ago, back in 2011. Tonight's semi-final game kicks off at the Kazan Arena at 8 o'clock. Then staying with the beautiful game, Tanzania kept their place at the top of Group A in the COSAFA Cup. It was after playing out to a goalless draw with Angola in Rustenburg last night. The result leaves Tanzania in first place with 4 points from 2 games. Angola sitting just 1 place back in second, only behind due to goal difference. The other result coming from last night's action, Mauritius and Malawi, they also shared the spoils in a goalless draw. Then finally, on to rugby. The Lions will be without their talismanic captain, Warren Whiteley, for the rest of the Super Rugby season due to injury. Also captaining the Springboks, Whiteley will be on the sidelines for 6 to 8 weeks now as he recovers from a torn pelvis ligament injury he picked up during a Springbok training session last week. The Lions will have to do without him when they face the Sunwolves in their Super Rugby this weekend. Elsewhere, the Bulls taking on the Sharks, and another local derby, the Cheetahs battling the Stormers. That's a wrap of your sport for this morning.
Let's quickly take a look at your traffic for the very last time on your Wednesday morning. Starting off in Gauteng, Germiston, there has been an accident on the N12 eastbound. It's obstructing multiple lanes near the Jet Park Road exit. So please try and use an alternative route if possible this morning. Then in Cape Town, Kells River, please note that on the R300 northbound, roads will be closed with no access to the N1 outbound, and that is after 7 o'clock tonight until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's a wrap of your traffic on your Feel Good Breakfast Show for this morning. Please drive with care. Let's quickly now take a last look at your weather, and it seems that most parts of the country can expect very cool temperatures with showers along the coast from the KZN region down to the Western Cape can be expected. However, Richards Bay and Pietermaritzburg can expect nice and warm temperatures today. Ons hardloop vinnig deur Polokwane skop af op 6 grade minimum en 'n maksimum van 22. Mbombela 11, 29, Pretoria 5 en 'n maksimum van 20. Johannesburg 3, 18, Mahikeng 4, 22, Klerksdorp begin op 1 graad minimum en 'n maksimum van 21. Kimberley 2, 17. Bloemfontein lekker koud vanoggend, -3 en dit bly koel met 'n maksimum van 18. Richards Bay 17, 30. Pietermaritzburg 10, 27. Durban 17, 24. Mthatha 4, 23. East London starting off on 9 this morning with a maximum of 22. Cradock 2, 19. Port Elizabeth on 7 this morning with a maximum of 18 degrees. George 5, 14. Sutherland very cold today, 0 degrees this morning, staying cold with a maximum of only 7 degrees. Cape Town 6:15, Worcester 1:13, Springbok 6:13, and Uppington kicking off on 2 with a maximum of 17. And that's where we leave your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast Show for your Wednesday morning.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Straight Up. Now, in the world that we live in, there's quite many different ways that you can, make a difference in somebody else's life. And by filling up a suitcase, you can actually help to improve someone's life. And that you can do as part of the TravelStart 27 Suitcases campaign, which is currently underway and runs through until the 18th of July, where TravelStart is collecting clothes, toiletries, non-perishable food, and of course, children's toys.
And we know how Tata Madiba loved his children, so these will fill 27 suitcases, and they'll then be sent to 27 different charities. Much needed charitable work across South Africa on Mandela Day. Love it. You can drop off your donations at the TravelStart head office in Cape Town and get a free cup of coffee, or just visit the TravelStart blog for all of those details. And there are drop-off points literally all across the country, so go and do something momentous today.
All right, let's quickly take a look at social media. I'm scanning through our emoji charades game answers. This is the emojis that we gave you a little bit on early on this morning. 4 words, 17, and of course a nice little tropical picture. And we asked you, what is the title of this song? We gave you clues. Let's see if you got it right before I reveal the answer. Shanaz Palmer's Price says, I'm very much clueless today. I have to put on my thinking cap. All right, well, I hope you got it maybe by now. Thomas says, still thinking. This one is too hard. Who else do we have? Boitamelo says, for people like us who can read music notation, I said treble clef for July. Nope, not the answer right there. August Ginroy says, Another Day in Paradise by Phillips. All right, I kind of forgot the surname. Gosh, man, but let's quickly take another one. Another Day in Paradise, Phil Collins, and that is the answer. Another Day in Paradise by Phil Collins this morning. So to all of you guys who got it right, well done. It was a tough one this morning, but some of you actually got it right. Another Day in Paradise, Phil Collins.
All right, now there's been a considerable amount of reaction of pictures released over the weekend of what looks like a stripper party that was thrown for inmates at the Johannesburg Correctional Centre for Youth Month celebrations. Now that the authenticity of the pictures has been confirmed by the Department of Correctional Services, we're joined on the line this morning by spokesperson Singabakho Nxumalo to discuss what will happen in this matter going forward. Mr. Nxumalo, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Now, how was this entertainment of strippers slip past the necessary authorities who would have prohibited this from taking place?
A very good morning, and thank you for giving us this opportunity. Perhaps as a department, it's important that from the onset to make it clear that we're very disturbed by those images. It's not what should represent us as correctional services, because we have a very important mandate. And coming back to your question, what has happened is that it was a Youth Month event, which was approved for. However, the aspect of entertainment was not approved because it lacked detail. So the event started, everything went accordingly. But that aspect of entertainment, for some strange reason, our officials allowed it, to take place. So where the dancers, had to do their moves. So us as Correctional Services Management, we felt that, that was a security breach, and our officials should have done much more to prevent even that dance from taking place. They had all the time, to say, the manner in which you are wearing is inappropriate, and also to be in that close proximity with offenders. Hence, as a department, we launched an investigation into this, and out of the preliminary findings, we've even charged 13 officials who were involved.
So what was actually meant to be prepared as entertainment for the inmates, and what were they actually expecting? What was supposed to be happening?
The program only said, entertainment, and it was not clear. Hence, the management disapproved that aspect of entertainment because we needed to know what form of entertainment. We usually work with a number of external stakeholders, and some of them even do offer entertainment, but it is clearly defined to say what form of entertainment is this. So this one was not even clear. Hence, it was not even approved. And the serious matter here is that our officers had all the time to even stop, this to say, but hang on. You cannot be doing that. And even the way you're wearing, it is totally out. So hence we said, we need to get to the bottom of this. Hence, even the minister sent, the top management from head office to say, you go to Johannesburg, you find out exactly what happened there and deal with whoever is responsible for this.
Now, I understand that 13 officials have been sent letters of consideration of suspension. What further actions are going to be taken against them, and what kinds of penalties can they receive should they be reprimanded?
It's difficult to say what kind of penalties, because then they will deem that as, having, right up to the end of the process before we even follow all those, nitty-gritties. Our labor law in this country, there is so much detail that you need to follow. But as a department, we said, at least now we've sent them those letters with intention to suspend them. We gave them time to say, give us a reason why we should not suspend you. And then our labor processes will follow. But we've committed to the South Africans that we leave no stone unturned. And should it happen that, those officials, clearly breached, our security procedures and other protocols, they will have to face the music. There is just no other way, because this is not who Correctional Services is, and we have to protect our image. And we will want all South Africans to fully understand that when a person is sent to a correctional facility, the mandate is to rehabilitate that person.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mr. Nxumalo, thank you so much for your comments and taking our call this morning. We do sincerely hope that the department will address this matter in a way that puts all South African citizens' concerns to rest. Thank you so much, sir. Of course, stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast, sir. There's still lots more to come.
A lot more to come indeed. Yes, lots more fun at that as well, because after the break, it is Wednesday. It's time for the culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. Yes, there we go. We have Anel with her ponytails in studio, and Laurence Swann, private chef, who doesn't have ponytails this morning, sadly, but it's okay. Call us 08021 430 9881 021 430 9881 for your questions.
And you nailed the ting, 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 dude. Straight off the bat. Well done, brother. Well done. Then we're going to get into the BETs as well. We can finally bring you some of those highs and lows. We'll see you in a sec.
Saving on travel is quick and easy with TravelStart. When you book any flight at travelstart.co.za, you will receive a voucher for 50% off your next 2 Uber rides to or from the airport. Simply enter the voucher code in the Uber app when you book your ride at your convenience. It's just another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly travel when you have TravelStart to take you all the way for half the price with Uber.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary hotline bling. That can only mean
and it can only mean one thing. You know what it is. 02143098881. It's time for the culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. We got Laurence Swann and Anel Potgieter here in the kitchen, ready to take on all of your culinary conundrums. Thank you so much for joining us, panel. Are you guys doing good?
Very good, and you?
And all the ponytails are looking ever so fresh. You need to work on yours, Laurence. Get with the game.
Always.
Get with the game. All right, so we'll be holding on for those calls. But first up, let's take a question that came through from Sanet van Niekerk, who asked us on Facebook and said, morning, guys.
Morning, Sanet.
Kom nou.
Yes.
How can I get the cakes that I bake to be soft, moist, and juicy? Not dry. We don't like dry cakes.
The eerste ding is don't overbake it. That's number one. And the other thing is, it's the dry ingredients that sucked up the juices as well. So make sure your dry ingredients is room temperature and it's properly measured.
Okay.
Anders verander net die resep asseblief. So gaan na Expresso website en kry een van Zola's fabulous recepte.
Absolutely, because when it comes to baking, you've got to be very particular about the measurements, right? Baking is a science, as Zola has told me many times.
You're right, it is, and I would go even further with the room temperature thing. I would have all your ingredients room temperature, even your wet ingredients as well.
Why does that make a difference?
Just because everything amalgamates better, if I can say the word.
Yes.
It cooks more evenly, and like you said, the dry ingredients won't draw all the moisture out of the wet one.
Is that an example of a perfectly baked, moist, juicy cake?
I hope so. I haven't tasted it.
How do you taste whether...
Nee, nie met so groot dingetjies.
Well, you want a nice sponge.
A
nice spring back.
So just so when you
touch it lightly,
it jumps back.
Precisely.
Your cake is good.
Yeah, and a little bit away from the sides.
Well, how about you show us the cake then, Anel?
Ek wil dit nou probeer oopkry.
No, daar sê nou maak hom oop. Terwyl you do that, I love how I just mix those two things like in English. Terwyl you do that.
Sorry,
let's quickly take this. Okay, there we go. Here comes our cake. Here comes the cake.
Oh,
there we go. There we go.
Voila.
You're placing the wrong thing on the cake.
We're not eating that.
Ek probeer.
There we go. I tell you what, terwyl you do that, let me quickly ask the next question that came through from Ritumetsi Ramathodi on Facebook, who said the following. Now, it's Wednesday, and my baby is turning 3 years old. Happy birthday to your baby. I want to bake her a cake. What do I mix with caster sugar to make the fondant icing?
Oh, no caster sugar, please.
No caster sugar.
Laurence, you can take it further.
Of course. Well, you want powdered sugar. You want icing sugar. Caster sugar is too grainy. It's not fine enough. So you want icing sugar, and we're going to use some marshmallows today.
Okay.
A nice marshmallow fondant, which essentially is marshmallows and butter.
Yeah.
Just melted. You can do that in the microwave.
Okay.
Mix
marshmallows and butter. Okay.
Warm it down until it's completely melted.
Yes.
As you can see there. And then you have your icing sugar ready, and you just fold that in really gently.
Okay. Show us how.
You'll see. If you do it too quickly, you'll be covered in it, and you're not icing yourself. You're icing the cake, of course. So straight in.
Cool. So you get it in there, and then you just fold it in nicely.
Nice and slow.
And the folding technique, what difference does that make other than getting it all over yourself?
Yeah, I suppose you're not over mixing it, and you want to avoid that. So you use a spatula, not a whisk. It might seem like there's too much icing sugar to the marshmallow butter mixture, but it gets there.
Okay, so I'm going to let you do that, and when you're done, we'll see how we're going to use this in the kitchen very shortly. But in the meantime, our lines are open. 0214309881. We'll be back with the culinary hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting!
Very exciting indeed, man.
Love it.
Hey, yeah. Listen, but on to some more exciting news this morning. It's a Wednesday, and that means we get to announce our next Dis-Chem Hamper winner. Now, we had a super healthy and super delicious Dis-Chem Lifestyle Foods Hamper up for grabs, and congratulations to Lynn van Denner. Congratulations, Lynn.
Well done, Lynn. We love you.
Well done, Lynn. We definitely do hope that this hamper inspires you to get into the kitchen and cook up a storm.
A healthy storm at that. But because we love this hamper so much, we're going to give away another one. So you've got to SMS the keyword Dis-Chem to 33728, and it could be yours. And every time you enter, you, of course, receive a free entry into the grand prize draw where you could walk away with 12,000 Rand in Dis-Chem shopping vouchers. Not a bad prize at all. That's enough to cover you pretty much for an entire year. So SMSs are going to be charged at $1.50, and the terms and conditions can be found on our website, expressoshow.com.
Biogen, for the results you want.
So as you can see, things are really real here in the kitchen. Laurence is still working on that fondant icing, and we've got our line still open on 021-430-9881 for the culinary hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting! And we'll, after you've made that fondant icing, what do? You just roll it out, and that's when you place it over your cake, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You roll it out, you need lots of
I'm not even going to ask you to do that. Let's go to the next question that was put through by Peter McPhee on Facebook, who said, what sauce would you put a spin on if you were making Cajun spiced calamari tubes? Wow.
And this one is so delicious. So it's so easy. There's a bit of soya sauce that you just put over your calamari. You put some fresh ginger in it. Yes. Fresh sliced ginger.
There was water in the calamari right now. Why?
I think it was just a bit of defrosted.
All right. Okay. So you can actually mix that along with it because it's part of the flavor.
Yeah, with the ingredient. And then a bit of chilies and garlic. And you mix this also with a bit of coriander for freshness. It's really an Asian thing. En dan laat jy dit net marineer. Let me just give this a little bit of a stir. You marinate
it. You just let it marineer, Laurence.
Ach, jammer, sorry man.
Okay.
I'll guess at that one.
Sorry,
marinade.
There we go.
Ek is getroud met 'n Ier, so ek is so tussen Engels en Afrikaans. Jy weet mos nou maar oor.
Laurence.
Okay, so you marinate it for about an hour, and then you just fry it beautifully and serve it.
Do you blitz fry it very quickly? Because you can't have your
Jy kan calamari nie lank vra nie, anders gaan dit rubberig raak. So dis om net maar proe 'n bietjie daaraan.
Okay, goed. Ek gaan 'n stukkie vat. Would you like to taste one?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
thank you.
Get in there.
Yes. Bring it on.
Ooh,
beautiful.
Wow. How delicious is that good? We've got Danielle on the line. Good morning, Danielle.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Oh, I'm so good,
Hi,
thank you.
Danielle.
No, Laurence also here. What is your culinary conundrum?
I want to know if you like baking a cake or something, if they say add normal sunflower oil, if you can substitute it with like coconut oil or olive oil or something.
Brilliant.
Before she goes, isn't this, that voice is familiar. I'm sure this is my brother's daughter. Danielle, is it you?
Yeah.
How'd you call your auntie and put her on the spot? Thanks, Danielle.
I'm going to get Laurence answer that.
Of course, you can substitute it for other types of oil. That's not a problem at all. Again, it's giving that nice shine as well as adding less butter.
Yes.
Which obviously makes us slightly healthier. But if olive oil is always a good one. If you're in Mediterranean Europe, for instance, they would insist on olive oil.
Yeah.
If you're in the US, it would be a vegetable oil or a sunflower oil. So.
And Danielle, I've got some coconut oil at home. You can come and fetch some as well.
And of course, that would obviously change the flavor profile a little bit. So
it would.
One carrot cake might not taste the same as another.
No, and the colour as well. So an olive oil would give you a much more sort of amber-looking sponge, whereas a veg oil would be very neutral colour.
Okay, fantastic. We'll be back again taking on more questions. And Danielle, you're welcome to ask more questions, so yeah, hold the line. But 0214309881, we'll be back with the culinary hotline bling!
Ting, ting, ting!
Uitgevang, Danielle, vanochtend. Lekker, man. Listen, we're going to continue with that culinary hotline in just a bit. Give us a call. 0214309881 is that magic number to call.
Or then major beef at the BETs. We're going to take a look at some of the highs and lows of the BET Awards. After the break, we'll see you now.
Struggle with commitment? Before trying anywhere else, book on TravelStart. We will turn your guilt trips into good trips. Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary hotline bling.
That can
only mean one thing. It is time for the culinary hotline bling. Sing, sing, sing.
Yes, that was beautiful. 0214309881.
Let me break the TV screen.
Sorry, if we crack to a screen. All right, we're taking your questions on the line and also the ones that you've sent us. And last time, well, just before the break, I was going to ask her what Gerrit Koch wanted to know about. Looking for a really good pretzel recipe. I never even thought of making pretzels at home.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Equal amounts of bread flour and cake flour. Some water, butter, sugar, and some yeast. And just put that in a mixer, like a KitchenAid with a dough hook, and just let that work for about 10 minutes, and then let it rest.
If you don't have one of those fancy mixers, can you just kind of...
Do it by hand.
Just hand.
Hands are the best tools in the kitchen.
And is it one of those where once the ingredients have mixed, stop?
Yes.
Stop mixing.
Don't over-mix it too much. You want to activate the yeast, so you need a little bit of kneading, but you're not making bread. And then let it rest.
Okay.
So everything relaxes.
So equal parts, cake flour, bread flour, sugar, yeast, butter.
Exactly.
Boom.
And then
water.
you'll have a beautiful dough. And what you're going to do to make the pretzel shape, you need a bit of flour, just so it doesn't stick. Take a pinch.
Yeah.
Roll it out.
Okie
I can do this quickly.
Come on, Laurence.
Get in there, Laurence.
Come on, Laurence. Roll, roll, roll.
There we go. There we go. There we got the roll on. Got the roll on. How long does it need to be?
Well,
it is a
long.
pretzel, eh? So
you know,
it's
it all
got to be
depends
quite
what
long.
size. These are quite large. I might not get that big.
Would you recommend, while you're letting it rest, covering it up so it doesn't get dry?
Yeah, you would. I would. Yeah, absolutely. But
Okay.
the lights are hot in here, which you don't usually have these sort of lights at home.
alright.
So a nice shape.
Yeah.
Fold it into a horseshoe. Twist it over. Give it a stretch. Over again. And then you pin these ends. Down onto the top. That's not a great one. Turn it over. But as you'll see, as they cook and rise, you'll get that beautiful
They'll
shape.
kind of blossom out of that
the
beautiful
gist of it there.
Okay, good stuff. We had a call from Elizabeth all the way in Joburg who said she wants to know how to not make her pancakes oily and shiny. I didn't even realize that's possible, but anyway, how?
I use a bit of oil in my batter. That's the first thing I do. And then the first pancake is always a flop. So you put some oil in your pan. But then after the second pancake, you don't have to put oil in the pan anymore. So you don't have to put oil in every time. Another thing that I do, I take a bit of kitchen towel and I just add a bit of oil on top of it, and then you just smear your pan every time instead of putting oil in the pan.
Okay.
And it's shiny because it's oily.
Yeah, and I guess it's also about maybe finding that perfect temperature for your particular pan so that you don't always have to have this extra lubricant that keeps it from sticking, right?
Absolutely. And at the same time, if you've got a really good non-stick pan, sometimes you just get a piece of kitchen paper and instead of pouring oil into it, like you were saying,
just rub it on.
Just rub it on.
All right.
You shouldn't get too much oil.
Simple as that. Elizabeth, I hope that certainly did help you. And we'll be back with another segment of our Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, sing, sing.
So we've been talking about the BET Awards for a few days, and now seeing that the show has finally aired, we can finally show you some of the highs as well as the lows. And that being said, here is a roundup of some of the best and worst moments at this year's awards show.
Absolutely, man. We're going to run you through. We have also ShugaSmakx joining us, brother, man. Thank you so much once again, man. Your performances this morning.
Beautiful.
Thank you. The hook, man.
Thank you.
Listen, did you catch some of the BETs?
I didn't, but I'm glad I'm here to get the full scoop now.
Dude, you're going to enjoy this, bro.
Let's get right into it. Right, now, before we get into the actual winners for the night, okay, we have to hand it to Leslie Jones. Absolutely phenomenal. She effortlessly hosted this big night, and she had us in stitches, by the way, when she explained how rapper names confused her. Check this out.
Biggie, he was just big. Busta Rhymes, you knew he was gone. Busta Rhymes. What's a little yachty? Is that a boat? Is a small boat? Why don't you want a big yachty? I don't understand.
A little yachty. So now, honing in on the rappers, let's get into some of those awards. And it looks like Remy Ma has seemingly reignited her feud with Nicki Minaj, throwing some serious shade in her acceptance speech. Take a look at this.
Y'all some liars. It ain't no facts in your song. And yeah, that crown is coming back to the Bronx. You ain't Kim, I see you partying, man. I love y'all.
Yo, so she ended a 7-year winning streak for Nicki Minaj. I know, dude. The diss tracks have been flowing between the two for the better part of like a decade now. Have you ever felt the need to write a diss track?
Yeah, did once. But I mean, this is hip hop, so hip hop is all about this. So we had to battle rappers and whatever, so it is what it is.
Oh, man.
Listen, let's move on to another diva. We love her. We've been talking about her. She's been in the news quite a lot. Okay. Beyonce, of course, the new mom of twins. She claimed 5 statuettes, all right, including Album of the Year. That was for Lemonade. And also the Best R&B Pop Female Artist. And out of her leading 7 nominations, proving just once again that no one is more worthy than Queen Bee herself, hey?
Dude, even when she's taking time off, she's still...
she's phenomenal, man. She's just moving forward all the time.
I'm sure they could just give even the twins awards at this stage. Like a family thing. Hey, let's give you guys awards.
They have a shelf already.
Yeah,
I guarantee
it.
They have a shelf there already. So, of course, we've given him a little bit of a diss this morning for falling asleep during Mary J. Blige's performance, which I cannot imagine. But Bruno Mars, he was a star on the night. He performed Perm, full of funk humour, as we'd expect. Sharply coordinated movement, absolutely awe-inspiring performance, but really, really needs to be seen to be believed. Take a look at that, man. This kid has
this boy is
skills.
talented, man.
Beautiful stuff, and he was rewarded with the Best Male R&B and Pop Artist and another for Video of the Year for 24K Magic, which I think was definitely a worthy winner, man.
You see, now after that energetic performance, now we know why he caught a young nap. You know, and the
That's what I'm saying. It was probably after the rehearsal.
It was finished, man. But also performing, of course, was Future, whose performance of Mask Off was almost underwhelming. Had it not been for Kendrick Lamar's surprise performance with him, and this is definitely the 2nd year in a row that Kendrick took to the BET stage, and he blew us away as well, man. Also, once again, a phenomenal artist.
I drive anything, buy my range, make them go insane. DJ Eskimo City.
I got a halo. I know up every time I say so. Shoot on payroll. Looking like Pancho, looking
Shame,
like
man. And you can see on Future's face, he's like, oh, man. Yeah, the stage is yours, man. Take it. But Kendrick Lamar, he is still the greatest. He's had such a phenomenal couple of years, man.
Yeah, of course, Kendrick. But I mean, that Future song is also huge as well, and you know, so
he's a youngster. He's coming, man. So last but certainly not least, and you might remember this because I know we are of similar ages. But the group Escape, brilliant R&B outfit. They returned for a reunion performance, performing some of their biggest hits. Understanding, Who Can I Run To, Just Kicking It. And what I loved about this performance is each of the ladies was given a time to shine. But this has been like a year for reunions, seeing some of the greatest voices back, certainly in R&B, but this was magic, man.
Awesome stuff. Well, that's a roundup of everything that went down at the BET Awards. One thing is definitely for sure, though, with the BET Awards, you just never know what you're going to get, man. And that being said, we're almost certainly looking forward to the next one already.
Oh, dude, well, with you, we know what we're going to get, man. So thank you so much for bringing some unbelievable performances this morning, man. The studio have absolutely loved ShugaSmakx on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. So stick around, more performances are on the way. But right now, back into the Culinary Hotline.
I can't believe you guys just skipped past the Migos Joe Budden fight. But okay, that was the BETs. Let's get on to a call right now. Oh, Mandy, and you came and you gave without taking. Hi, Mandy.
Hi, pleasure.
So good to have you on the line.
Hi, Laurence. And goeiemorgen, Anel.
Hello.
Mandy, what is your culinary conundrum?
I've been gifted with a Springbok sirloin.
Oh, yes.
And I'm a little bit of a meat Philistine, and I don't want to mess it up.
A meat Philistine?
Interesting way of putting it.
I love it.
Well, you've got a good recipe now, haven't you, for a Springbok?
Sorry, what was the question? Yeah.
I'm looking for a marinade for a Springbok sirloin.
Oh, right. A marinade for a Springbok sirloin. Just take us through it, yeah?
We actually had it prepared this morning, or was going to discuss it this morning,
yeah,
actually.
Well, let's go right ahead.
So what
is
I will
it available?
do... What I like is to keep it very simple. So I take lemon juice, olive oil, a little bit of vinegar, salt, pepper, and ground coriander seeds in it. And then I marinate the sirloin or the springbok fillet in it. En dan gaan I braai toe.
Okay. And how long do you marinate it for?
At least for about an hour to 2 hours. You know, it's like a red meat, so the longer the better. Ek sal dit even oornag doen, you know.
Excellent.
Oornag
All right.
doen, ja.
Can we in 30 seconds explain how to make sago pudding?
Yes.
30 seconds, go.
You've got sago that's been wat geweek is. You add that to boiling milk, nee? You add some cinnamon and sugar and you let it cook till it's a certain place. Then it looks like this after 20 minutes.
Okay.
You then put this into a little ramekin. Add some egg over it. I'll first put some butter and cinnamon on it.
Yes.
Put some egg over it. Then you put it in the oven, 180 degrees, and bake it, and it's delicious and yummy. And you just serve it with a spoon, with nothing else.
And that's how you explain sago pudding in 30 seconds. A la Anel Potgieter. That was amazing. Okay, we'll see you after the break. Thank you very much for joining us for the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting!
I'm a dreamer, a doer. I know the hustle. I just need my money to hustle for me.
Welcome back. We're live, large, and in charge. This is your Field Breakfast show, baby. It's a Wednesday. We're having fun. Hopefully, you're having fun with us too. You having
Yeah,
fun?
man, that was a good culinary hotline.
So Laurence and Anel Potgieter with the
What a
pompoms on
team,
your
what a
arm.
team. But listen, the Ford
Wow.
EcoSport Challenge, it is getting interesting at the moment as different challenges, of course, play to different strengths. But in case you missed it last week, here's what myself and Zoe had to overcome.
Stopping on a hill, it's quite a challenge.
Kind of took this hill in its stride. I didn't roll back once. I'm going to be facing my fears.
Kind of scared of heights. That's probably what I'll do.
We've got some lovely chicken livers for you today.
I hate liver.
I made my way to the very top. It's on the outside.
I just had to kind of just shove it in there. Just close your eyes, get it down.
Zoe, concentrate. Got it. I wouldn't say I conquered my fear. I definitely faced it.
I'm just going to go digest this liver first.
So after that quick little substitution, having faced their fears, well done, Ewan, for beating the livers. Zoe and Ewan are now feeling pretty strong, but will they be able to keep up the stamina for what lies ahead? And will Ewan be able to close the gap on Zoe? 5 points ahead she is at the moment. Only time will tell.
Our urban adventurers Zoe and Ewan have found their feet as they #get busy in the Ford EcoSport Challenge. Having faced their fears, their last clue indicated they need to put a lot of heart into the next challenge, and they've got coordinates to take them to an unknown destination.
So once again, my knowledge to decipher these kind of things comes into play.
Today's going to be an interesting one. Definitely.
Could also mean that I'm supposed to be doing something heartwarming and good. Possibly something like adoption.
We had a vet today. Very interesting.
And it led me straight to Mannerswood Vet.
Parking at the vet isn't going to be straightforward. Our contenders will have to show some skill for this driving challenge.
The Games Master tells me, hey Ewan, let's see if you can reverse in a straight line. So I'm like, all right, Games Master, let me show you.
Well, one thing's for sure, my parking skills are definitely increasing with each challenge. The EcoSport is a dream to drive with the straight reverse park. I was able to do it very quickly and as straight as an arrow. Look at that, a piece of cake. I want to see Ewan beat that.
Luckily for me, I'm a good driver and it was dead straight.
Also straight are the scores as Ewan and Zoe tie in reverse parking. Inside the vet clinic, however, is a little surprise for each of them.
And then there he is, Rikus Velman, 7 Alans Andre Lotter, the one and only. Mensa, come on, this dude is a legend. Walk up, lekker Andre, you know, buddy, awesome stuff.
Ek het vir jou 'n klou wat jy moet lees. I say.
Here we go, here we go.
As I walked inside the vet, I saw Graham there, my co-host, so I was very excited to spend this adventure with him.
So your clue reads, take this Hills donation
to a special organization doing selfless work for animals in need.
It doesn't end there. Give these dogs some love and care.
It's an opportunity, sadly, very rare. It looks like we're going to do something heartwarming.
The guys from Hills, they were very generous in donating a few bags of food for the animals, and we picked that up and loaded it into the EcoSport. It's got a nice little boot, and now I understand why I had to do the reverse challenge. It made loading the car so much easier.
Especially with that hydraulic shock system that the door has. Opens for you, we have our hands full, go, just load it in there, bam, close it up, and we're off. It really wasn't a mission at all.
Let's move.
So this clue, I think it's pretty much self-explanatory. Animals in need, it doesn't end there, give these dogs some love and care. And spoiling them with some dog food.
Good dog food.
Yeah, I think it's nice to do something.
Yeah.
Bit of a heartwarming start to the day, you know.
And they love attention, dogs. I only know of one organization like that in this area.
Cheers!
Yeah, but they need so much re-socializing. They need people to spend time with the pups to get them to a point where they can be rehomed. So, I love the beach. Let's give them a fun day, just one day on the beach and have a little fun. What do you think?
I love that idea, and the best part is this EcoSport has enough space for a few.
Oh, let's do it.
We pulled up there to the Woodrock Animal Rescue Center. We figured this is where we need to drop the dog food. Something else is about to happen.
Welcome to Woodrock. This is Buddy and Chester. These are our 2 orphan babies that are looking for homes. Today is to show you how to carefully transport a dog in a vehicle.
Well, I'm sure the Ford EcoSport will rise to that challenge and accept it hands down.
Okay, let's have ourselves a little bit of fun. Go and make some new friends. Maybe we can bring a little bit of cheer just to a couple of dogs today.
Hi,
How's
Graham.
it, Trace?
Hi,
How are
Zoe.
you doing?
This is Columbus, and this is Edna.
Well, we have brought a gift courtesy of Hills, some much-needed supplies for the work that you guys do. But I have to admit, we have come with an ulterior motive, Zoe.
Well, we are embarking on an adventure today, and we were wondering if we can take the pups with us.
Absolutely, with pleasure. They'd love that.
To safely transport dogs, drop the back seat and lay down blankets. Remove the leash for safety, or better still, make use of a crate if a dog is nervous or hyperactive.
To load a dog into a car was something new for me.
It was great to get some tips there, and it always does help when you've got the car that is suited for that kind of lifestyle, being able to flip up the seats.
You look at the boot, but then it kind of extends to kind of quadruple the boot size. Rather impressive.
We had a lot of space in the back where we were able to load Columbus and Edna in.
Put the pups in there with some blankets.
And they were so comfortable at the back, being driven around for the day.
And off we went to the beach.
We were just out the gate. It was a great little outing for them, just to enjoy the smoothness of the ride.
As we were driving, it was such a smooth ride. Even the dogs calmed down, completely soothed by the drive.
Very proud of the way that she's taken to the car. It seems to have become one with her. So I think Ewan's in for the fight here. I think she's really going to put up quite a fight.
As Zoe heads for Komiki Beach, Ewan discovers that Josie has some amazing dog-friendly outdoor spaces.
So we stopped off at the Walkhaven Dog Park, and what a lovely place this is. It's got a little dam and water, it's crystal clear, the dogs can swim, humans may not. This is really a nice area where you can come and relax yourself as well, and your dog can run around, get the energy out.
Chester is a Labrador cross, beautiful dog, very active, it just wants to walk. I think what happened when he was a puppy, I think he got injured in his leg, maybe broken. It grew on skew, but as an adult, he's got no pain, so it's fine.
Buddy he's adorable, and I think the only way that I can describe him in a very short amount of time is fun. Buddy and Chester are the best of mates. They make really a great pair together, and you know, they want to keep each other company, they're going to keep you company. They make such a great team.
The challenge seems to be turning into a soulful chill-out as the humans and dogs enjoy their day together.
Our time on the beach was magical. It was my first time with the doggies on the beach, and it really was such an incredible experience. I thought they would run crazy and go all over the place, but in fact they were so calm. We took a gentle stroll, and you know, it was so special to spend that time with them.
So of course this beautiful smiling face here belongs to Columbus, who has already formed a bond with me, and I've made a huge connection with him. He's a soft soul who likes a bit of adventure, likes the wind in his face, and Columbus here belongs to the SNAP program, which basically means he has special needs, and that's because of his hip. He needs a little extra love and care, no extra PT or costs on your side. This is where the older dogs really do get overlooked, so I think it's time to find him his forever home. Absolute beaut.
At one stage, myself and Edna parked on a rock and just looked out onto the ocean. It was very calming, and it was a really special moment. She's about 9 years old, and she needs her forever home. So if anyone's interested in a loving, sweet dog like her, I think she will be the perfect companion for someone.
They also took the time to uplift our spirits as well, and I think Zoe really enjoyed her first experience of walking dogs on a beach with these two incredible dogs. Oh, that was awesome, but I am famished now.
Oh, well, I have just the treat for you. I know this dog-friendly restaurant just around the corner. It's called Red Herring.
Oh, lovely. Let's go.
All this fresh air is bound to work up an appetite, and it's surprisingly easy to find restaurants that cater to both 2- and 4-legged customers. Pets and pizza at the same eatery? It's possible.
And then we stumbled on this restaurant that's on the premises called Pizza Mutt. We're like, hey.
We got there with our two dogs, Chester and Buddy, and they brought us some water for the dogs. And there's a lot of dogs around us, very friendly, yeah.
This almost feels like I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I was pleasantly surprised. This guy brought out the best looking pizzas I have seen in a long while. And we tuck in, it was delicious. These pizzas were like top-notch, A-class.
I had a couple of slices too many for my diet, but it was good, yeah.
The dogs had a ball with us.
Going to a pet-friendly restaurant like Red Herring was absolutely incredible.
It's got a wonderful nature, spirits, energy when you walk in.
Helen came to greet us. She greeted the doggies, gave them so much attention.
Certainly, if the sun is shining and it's a beautiful day like this, I really just won't go unless I can take my pups with. And the pizzas were awesome.
Ewan and Zoe's hearts are aglow from their day with the dogs, and there's more reason to smile as their scores are tied for the kindness challenge.
So sadly, we had to pack up and head back. The dogs had an absolute ball.
I really enjoyed it. I would do it anytime again. It was real fun.
So with each challenge, I am falling more and more in love with the EcoSport. Being able to pick up the dogs, take them for a walk on the beach, that still counts, and that really matters.
It's always a really bittersweet experience spending time with dogs that are ready to find their forever home. Both of these dogs are primed, well-trained, and they've got so much love to give.
And that's where we had to say our final goodbyes, sadly.
I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I'm sure they did too. Now for your next surprise.
Yep, that's right. There's always another clue. You will make a turn in another direction and be challenged by a fitness session.
Ooh, don't complain, for you will gain.
It's all for the love of the game.
This is going to be a goodie.
Let's do some fitness.
Although they scored the same in this challenge, Zoe still carries a 5-point lead. Can she keep up her winning ways, or will Ewan muscle his way to the top in the fitness challenge?
Hashtag get busy in the Ford EcoSport.
Bob,
it was fun, man.
He feels like you missed out on all the action.
Man.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fun.
he's
It was
keys
fun.
now.
Well done to you and Zoe as well, eh?
Yeah, look at that, man. So the scores are level. We wait for the next challenge.
Yeah,
Beautiful,
but
man.
Bob doesn't have to worry. You don't have to miss out on all of the action because you can also make a difference. Listen, Africa's leading online travel agency, TravelStart, wants to make a difference in the lives of others, and you can be part of it with the 27 Suitcases campaign. And it's asking you to donate clothes, toiletries, non-perishable food, and children's toys from now until the 18th of July, which is, of course, Mandela Day.
Yeah, and on that day, these goods are going to be sent to 27 charities across South Africa in 27 suitcases. Brilliant idea. Now, if you're in Cape Town, you can drop off your donations at the TravelStart head office and enjoy a free cup of coffee just as an added bonus. And if you live elsewhere, all of the details on how to make a donation are available on the TravelStart blog.
See, you can do it too, Bob.
All right, guys. Well, we're not quite done. We still have a couple of minutes of feel-good left for you on this Wednesday. We're going to take a quick break. We'll see you on the other side.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been a spectacular show with just the bros.
Absolutely, we've been enjoying it. But let's quickly talk about something that's making headlines right now. We know that every year celebs tend to do crazy things like public meltdowns and feuds and accidentally showing off a little bit too much. But some of our favorite celebrities are sharing a whole lot more, and it's not by mistake. That's because the annual Marie Claire Naked issue has been published. Can you believe it? We get to see a very different sides of our celebs, the likes of Thando Tabete, Nomzamo Mbata, and K Naomi, who's actually on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to have you. Thanks for taking our call so early in the morning. We just wanted to ask you quickly, K Naomi, but what made you sign up to be part of the annual Naked issue? Because it's quite a massive decision.
It is quite a massive decision. I mean, being put in a spot where you're taking photos of yourself nude for a cause, that was like, do I really want to do this? Is it worth it? But I feel like this year, it's in every aspect, in every way where I can give to someone or make change, I would gladly be part of any campaign that does that. So being part of the Naked issue has been, it's a blessing, because I know my charity is I'm helping young girls in Berea, so I am honored to be actively putting change in someone's life and basically creating more amazing women in South Africa.
And let's quickly talk about that, because I think very much top of mind recently has been the violence and that's been directed towards women. Do you think that by taking this step and supporting the cause that you are directly speaking to that?
I think I am directly speaking to that. I mean, I first had the Reebok Pretty Lethal campaign that dropped, which was free self-defense classes for women in South Africa, and now it's the Naked issue, and the whole point of raising funds for my orphanage is that we create some sort of cool campaign or cool day where we can make change and inspire women, and also kind of inform them about the world and what's going on right now and how they can protect themselves from being victims, and how they can be more aware of what's going on. Because I feel like, yes, it's happening, but we feel like because we're in a house or because we are around our friends all the time, we are protected, and it's not like that. Anything can happen to you at any time, whether you're at home, whether you're with your friends in the street, walking to your car. So I feel like right now, I want to make these young women aware.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. That's all the time we have. Listen, thank you very much for supporting these wonderful causes, and it's time for us to say goodbye, unfortunately.
Sadly,
we'll see you all tomorrow morning. Be safe out there.
Cheers, guys. Too much.
Another feel-good production.